Hey there folks, it is I, the Jacked Lantern, and welcome to the channel. So what we're gonna do today is something I wanted to try for a while now, a tier list video. And since I've also been meaning to make a Marvel video for a while but I just couldn't find a good topic that won't end me in a landmine, I decided to just, hey, why not make a Marvel tier list video? Something that's, a bit neutral, safe, and more importantly, fun. Because the MCU at the moment is in a really hot seat, and the people talking about it are even more so. And I don't want to be part of the mess. I just want to talk about these superheroes without the baggage attached to it. So for this one, we're just gonna talk about their fashion. Yeah, I'm gonna rank the 6 OG Avengers on their costumes all throughout their film appearances. So yeah, let's do some ranking. So here we are. For this one, we are just gonna do the original 6 from the MCU, just to keep it short and quick. And these guys have gone through a lot of looks and costumes than the rest of the characters throughout the years, so they have a lot more to rank. And don't worry, I'm gonna do a separate video for the new Avengers since most have kept their looks the same up until Phase 4. And another thing to note here is that I've skipped quite a few on Iron Man's armors. I only included the ones he prominently used throughout his films, so feel free to tell me if I missed something as well. Let's start with Captain America's Avengers costume. I'm very sorry to say, but I'm gonna be giving this an SMH right off the bat. If you liked it, that's okay. But in my eyes, it looks like a cheap party costume. The padded armored one just looks better in my opinion. I mean, I know he doesn't need the extra protection, given that his body is already an enhanced specimen, but there's nothing wrong with an extra more. But still, SMH. Next on the opposite tier, his Endgame costume.
Smashing!
This one combines comics accuracy and realistic quality. It's honestly one of his best, and especially with those scaled mail and padded armor though. It looks so good. Honestly, that's all I'm gonna say. The striped stealth suit from Captain America Winter Soldier is something that I also like. It's very practical but still feels like a Captain America uniform, and I'm gonna put it in smashable enough. It's still good, don't worry, that's a positive. And then we have his Civil War outfit, which is already similar to his Age of Ultron outfit, just with a few retouches, both of which will also go to smashable enough with the stealth suit. I still like the stealth suit better, which is why he'll be in the front. In a similar manner, the Smithsonian Golden Age uniform from the Captain America 2 and the one it is modeled after, the SSR field uniform from the first Captain America movie, will both be in the Smokey tier. Both are actually quite good uniforms in my eyes, with the SSR one being better looking with its faded and used look. And then we have the USO costume. I'm actually gonna put this one in SME, higher than the Avengers uniform. Just see, this one is more of a parody / homage to the comics costume, while the Avengers one is official. So it has no business looking like that. That's why it's higher, so I'm very sorry for that. And then the Infinity War Nomad look. Honestly, just for that beard.
Smashing!
And now for Iron Man. I'll admit, I generally just feel average with his armor, so I think this will be easier for me to rank. And starting with this one, Mark II, SME. If you like this one, I'm sorry again, I feel like I'm gonna say it a lot. The silver look just doesn't give me Tony vibes. I know Iron Man has donned a lot of armors in the comics and not just with his classic color schemes, but the red and gold is just so iconic that almost every armor that's not that color combination for me will be heavily judged, so yeah, I'm sorry. Except for, of course, Mark 1. I don't know, there's something I like about this one. It reminds me of the power armors and Fallout, and that's one of my guilty pleasure games, so I'll place it in Smokey. And obviously the Mark 3 will be in smashable enough. Same with Mark 4, which is more or less the same in design, but with a few minor adjustments. Okay, this one, the Mark 5, I have to say I'm not partial with the silver and red. I have to give this another SME. Not an SMH, but just a SME. Same with his homecoming armor, this one looks like he's in a crop top. Sorry, not sorry. So, SME. Actually, on second thought, both are SMH. I changed my mind, I don't like this armor anymore. Then Iron Man's Avengers armor, both Mark 6 and Mark 7, will go to smashable enough. Mark 43, that's a huge leap, the initial Age of Ultron armor, and the Mark 45, the newer one he wore in the end of the Age of Ultron, plus the Veronica/Hulkbuster and Mark 46, the one he wore on Civil War, are all going to smashable enough. I don't think I need to explain because they all look good and iconic in their own way. Except for Mark 42. This ugly gold one gets as a meh. I'm sorry, I just hate the palette swap of the gold and red. And this leaves us with his Infinity War and Endgame armor, both of which are
Smashing!
yeah, I was saving these two, which are clearly the best, for last. Come to think of it, almost everyone was at their best in either Infinity War or Endgame. Almost. And now to complete the Marvel Trinity, we have Thor. Thor is one of those characters whose costume changes are really varied because Marvel kept trying to reinvent the character in each appearances. So for the classic Thor outfit, I would love to give it a smokey, but just the fact that they even freaking painted his eyebrows blonde, and for that, it's a smeth for me. It's a smeth. Now for Avengers Thor, this one is smoky for me. It's the more balanced look than the one in his movie. So yeah, smoky. No matter what people say about Thor the Dark World, I actually love the costumes in that one, especially Thor. I mean, it might not be noticeable, but it was a nice touch to add those leather loin flaps below his belt. So for that, it's smashable enough. Let's also add his Age of Ultron costume, which is basically a sleeveless version of the Dark World look. I might place that higher than that because as a person who loves wearing tank tops, sleeveless is better. Now, Endgame Thor. This is somewhat of a controversial topic. A lot of people had a lot of differing opinions and feelings about this version of Thor, including on how Marvel handled the character. But since we're not gonna go too deep into that mess, I'll just go ahead and say that I think it is just a smoky look. What won me is the braided beard, which I wish he kept. Honestly, I would like a combination where he has his short hair and a long braided beard look. That is all. And speaking of short hairs, Infinity War and Ragnarok Thor, just
Smashing!
weirdly enough, I actually really like the sleeveless Guardian Thor. It's such a fresh look, despite the fact that it's similar to Star-Lord's look. And I know it's an homage to Thunderstrike in the comics, but it's still smashable enough. Love and Thunder Thor though, don't hate, but SMH. It's an SMH for me. Those colors are so fucking blinding, it's too overcomplicated and overdesigned. Like, pick a color. And that's it for Thor. And the next is the Jolly Green Giant and one-time strongest Avenger, Shrek. Another character that's been on the hot seat from the eyes of the viewers, fans and critics alike. Anyway, starting with his human persona, the main man, Bruce Banner. For the first one, we have Norton's Bruce. I actually quite like him. Too bad Marvel didn't, and I think the feeling's mutual, but I'll give him a smashable. He is pretty smashable. Moving on. Same with Avengers Bruce, he is smashable, especially with that purple shirt. I like that purple shirt. But post Ragnarok Bruce, hell, even Ragnarok Bruce, honestly, I kinda dislike how he became the comic relief. But regardless of that, his outfits are meh, since he doesn't have an iconic Bruce look. Even more so with Hulkbuster Bruce, just SMH. And then for the Hulks, the classic one from the first movie, I think it's okay. I think he's okay. Just smoky. I like it. Avengers Hulk though I thought was great, which is smashable. Now personally what's even better is him in a gladiator suit. So World War Hulk in Ragnarok gets a
Smashing!
he looks good, regardless of what you think of the film. I think Hulk as a gladiator, and even when he was in his regular Hulk look with the short haircut, I think he looked good. I mean, he looked like one of those orcs in the World of Warcraft movie, but in a good way. So another
Smashing!
and speaking of looking good, I know this is also a controversial one, and discounting his role in Endgame, which I think was alright, I gotta be honest, I think Professor Hulk looked good.
Smashing!
Is what I would rate his look in Endgame. Obviously the change in his look and design would be drawing to Hulk fans, and I honestly think giving him a good fight scene, especially with Thanos, would have softened the blow to his fans. But that's just what I think. Black Widow. For the longest time, I thought her first appearance was in Avengers, both her and Clint. For some reason, it didn't click to me that she was the same character. And to be fair, I've never seen ScarJo in anything other than in the MCU, so I wasn't familiar with her at the time. Anyway, getting way off tangent, Iron Man 2. So, her outfit is smoky for me. It's okay. Honestly, I didn't care for her hair, but I don't hate it. And next is the Avengers outfit. I thought 2 was okay. It didn't seem that much different from the Iron Man 2 costume. I mean, to be fair, all of her outfit designs don't seem to stray too much from one another. Except of course for her hair and some of her outfit in some movies like in Avengers Age of Ultron. I did not care for her look in there, especially with the Twitch streamer lights on her outfit, so smack. And then we have Captain America Winter Soldier. Personally, just smashable for me. I'm just ranking the outfit, okay? I still do think Black Widow here is at her peak, at least in my opinion compared to her other roles in the MCU. And then in Civil War, also smashable enough. Now in Infinity War, I didn't care for her blonde look, I'm sorry. I mean, I know in universe it was a way for them to hide in disguise, I guess, even though I feel like their technology is pretty much so advanced that it would be harder to stay disguised with just, changing hair color. And I know it was also an homage to Yelena, but for some reason it looks better on Yelena. Still, it's a meh for me, I'm sorry. But on the opposite note, Endgame, this time I actually like her look. It is
smashing
for me. And finally, her solo movie outfits. Okay, regardless of what I think of the film, her suit and her white suit here were
smashing.
I just really like the design of her suit. I wish she wore that in Infinity War or Endgame, but I do understand that those movies came first before this, so I wish they had planned better, is all I'm saying.
What the
And lastly, we have Clint Barton, formerly known as Hawkeye, then Ronin, and now just Clint. I gotta say, like with Black Widow again, I did not realize he was in Thor. For some reason, it never got ingrained in my head that was him. I mean, he was already using a bow for God's sake, but his appearance was just so forgettable to me. I'm sorry, smeh. His outfit in Thor was smeh. I mean, sure, he was an agent, but nobody said you gotta be a boring agent. Give him the signature purple glasses, but make it thick enhanced. What did I say thick? I meant tech enhanced. And then on a much brighter outlook, his Avengers outfit. Smashable enough for me. You gotta show them those guns. Then his Age of Ultron outfit is something I actually dig. I mean, despite all the things I said about sleeveless shirts, it's a smoky for me. And then his tactical outfit in Civil War is something I actually also really like, and it gets a smashable enough for me. But his Faux Hawk outfit in Endgame though, I don't know. I think it's just as okay for me. I don't know. I don't think it's bad, but not as memorable as the other outfits. I mean, his outfits aren't really that memorable, but yeah. Speaking of memorable, his Ronin look, now that is memorable. It's a shame they never stuck with this outfit in Endgame. I think it was his most amazing outfit that is
smashing.
I wish they kept it, honestly. And then his Hawkeye outfit, which, I don't know, like with Captain America, I much prefer his tactical armor. It looks like he's wearing a pajama or party costume in this. And, I don't know, it feels like he lacks protection. I mean, I know he's an archer, and it's not like he's gonna be, fighting someone hand to hand, but... So, yeah, I'm sorry. This is a smeh for the last time. So, yeah. And that is that. I have ranked the costumes for the OG 6 Avengers. Tell me what your rankings are down below and maybe consider liking and subscribing. It helps, and drink plenty of water. So, see ya, you fucks. Okay, I feel like I have to say I might have exaggerated a bit with the tier list. I just got into the moment, okay? And I feel like I was a bit too harsh with some of my rankings, and for that, I am sorry if I ever insulted your favorite costumes in the MCU. Well, so much for being safe, neutral, and fun. Anyway, this was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago, but I got distracted. Also, I felt slightly self-conscious about uploading this one for some reason. I made a lot of mistakes during the recording of the shadow play, which is the screen camera I use, by the way. And I didn't want to redo it, so I just fixed it as well as I could. Also, I got my avatar brand new setup. Yeah, this is usually for when I'm like screen capturing something. I'll still use the other setup with the magic orb, but at least now I could interchange the setting. Also, I got myself a Ko-fi, or coffee? Anyway, you don't have to feel pressured to donate, of course. I was debating whether I should use Patreon, but I feel like with Patreon you gotta have like something to show for every month, which I do not have. Just these videos takes almost a month to make, so I'll settle for donations. If you want, of course, I'm not begging here. Well, not entirely, but you get it. Also, no subscriptions. Anyway, that's all I have to say, and yeah, thanks for watching.